Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ikmal bin Jamak Salvi. My number matric is AA191616 from Section 4, Communication Engineering. So for my part, I will talk about the introduction for RFID. So what is RFID? RFID is a radio frequency identification that is used the radio wave as an identification for any object or human in which a related information for the device. It reads an information by using the wireless device, which is tagged from a distance without making any physical contact with the device. So on 1948, RFID is being introduced by Harry Stopman, which is the founder of RFID. He produced a first paper with a title of Communication by Means of Reflected Power. So then, before 1948, the barcode is being used widely in industry by using the beam of light and read the information of code. However, due to its application is limited, thus the RFID is being chosen to use in industry today because RFID is a contactless. It is a function with contactless. So next, how the RFID is work. So RFID is function with the tags that are attached with the object to be recognized. Uh, every tag has its own read-only or rewrite the internal memory, and the internal memory is work as a data memory that store all the memory or data information of the device. Then the RFID will generate a magnetic field that allow the system to detect the object with a range. Thus, the high frequency of the electromagnetic energy and query signal are generated by the reader and trigger the tag to give a feedback to the query. Then the communication of the tag and the reader will be established. So let's continue for the advantage and disadvantage of RFID. For the advantage, RFID is a huge memory device, which is it can store memory up to 16 to 64 KB, while barcode only can store 1 to 100 bytes only. Then it also easy to use device because it just take a few seconds to tag the RFID key in the proximity and read the data from the related device in order to use it. Then it also has a portable size, which is the size of the RFID is the same like a credit card or ID card, so it can be used anywhere or whenever we were outside. Then for the disadvantage, RFID is a expensive device. Then for the stolen issue, for example, if the car have a RFID tag and use RFID, so if the car gets stolen, the thief can use the RFID tag to passing through the plaza toll, because the car has a RFID tag and the machine will sense the RFID and let the gate to open. So the RFID cannot detect who is the owner of the RFID tag. So that is the stolen issue for the disadvantage. Then for the overloaded reading, which is failed to read, is an issue when if the user at the plaza toll, he has to move his car back and forth in order to let the machine to reach the RFID tag in order to let the gate open. So it will make a messy to the car at back of the car that use a RFID, so the car will get stuck. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khairul Nazmi bin Muhammad and my matrix number is AA191588. So for my part on this project, which is a group project, we have chosen the title of RFID and its applications. So for my part is I will be presenting about RFID components. So firstly, RFID consists of two components. Those components are RFID tag and RFID reader. RFID tag comprises of a chip or an integrated circuit IC, an antenna, and a substrate. RFID tag can be divided into two, which are active tag and passive tag. Active RFID tag is self-contained and it is typically powered by battery. Active RFID tag is typically larger in size than a passive RFID tag. Active RFID tags chips are more capable than the ones in passive RFID tags. Active tags differ from passive tags as they have onboard power supply and onboard electronics. Usually, the power supply used in active tags are batteries as I mentioned before. Onboard electronics include sensors, microprocessors, and input and output ports. Passive tags is powered by the reading antenna, which induces the current in the RFID tags antenna via electromagnetic waves. The antenna in passive tags is attached to the chip and its purpose to absorb radio frequency RF waves from the reader signal and to transmit and receive data. Mostly, the performance of passive RFID tags is highly dependent on the antenna's size. The larger the antenna size, the more it can collect and transmit and receive data. It means that larger antennas have greater read ranges. The shape of the antenna is also crucial to the tag's performance. Low frequency LF and high frequency HF antennas are usually coils due to the predominant magnetic nature of these frequencies. Ultra-high frequency UHF antennas resemble vintage television as ultra-high frequencies are entirely electric in nature.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Azim Naim Muhammad Kamil. My number matric is 81914646. So I will continue for application of RFID technology and also future work of RFID technology. So RFID technology has been used in many sectors such as manufacturing, retailing, agriculture, chemical, environment, sports, finance, government and military, healthcare, monitoring and tracking, and also human identification. So the use of RFID technology is instant or class identification. It is used for the purpose of item type or instant identification, and usually a database is maintained in order to provide or receive the additional information needed. Next is location identification. It is used to track the current place of a given uniquely identifiable item. Next is additional data. It is also contain information of the corresponding item. Data read from the tag that contain the information would be difficult, impractical, and impossible to obtain from a remote or pre-recorded database or measurement result. Next is asset tracking. It is the most common use in RFID. It usually used to track the item that is stolen often, that are underutilized, or that are just hard to locate at the time they are needed. Next is manufacturing. It is used to track parts and work in process and to reduce defects, increase throughput, and range the production of different version of the same product. Next is supply chain management. RFID technology has been used in closed loop supply chain or to automate parts of the supply chain within the company's control and to track shipment among supply chain partners. Next is retailing. It is the most retailers company such as Tesco, Consafe or TC are increasingly develop the RFID technology adoption. These retailers are focused on improving supply chain efficiency and making sure product is available on its shelf. Next is payment system. The technology is also focused on the convenient payment mechanism where the transaction that used widely today using RFID technology, and this active system have caught on in many countries. And lastly is security and access control. RFID has long been used as an electronic key to control who has access to office building or areas within office building. So this is the future work of RFID technology. First, in using RFID technology to address the environmental, educational and welfare challenges of globalizing economy. Next, to support national economic and public health priorities. Next is changing demographic and how RFID system can support residents staying in their home as they age. Next is preparation on the bridge project, which is to build radio frequency identification solution for the global environment in South Korea. And lastly, RFID based e-passport program, where to help develop and implement a new automated entry or exit system to be deployed at the nation more than 400 air, land and sea ports of entry in the US.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syamil bin Sulaiman. My matric number is AA191999 and I'm from section 3 for communication engineering. Okay, so I will present about the conclusion of the RFID technology. Okay, so first, the RFID is giving human many benefits. Okay, so for example, in the healthcare industry, where this RFID will increase the accuracy of a task, and it will improve the safety of the doctor or the patient, and also will reduce the error that made by the human. Next is RFID also has their negative side, okay, such as it is more expensive compared to the barcode system, okay, and this RFID signal also sometimes has a problem with some other material, okay, and the last but not least, it will improve in the future. We believe that this RFID technology will be improved in the future and will be required in all the industry.